Why the skin is the secret to our infinite healing and life force and ultimate power and energy. The skin is the structure that holds together our being, everything that we are made from, our organs, cells, our outer layer. It's all made from the same connective tissue that holds together that structure. Our joints, our bones are held together by our skin. Our skin is the part of us that holds together our whole life force. And why, even in ancient scriptures, it's so connected to healing, because that tissue in between those cells, even though we see them as one matter, one form, there is space. There's space in everything. There's always space. Whether it be a microscopic space or a space that we can't see, there will always be space, because without space there is no time. And that's what creates the separation. That's what creates the life force, the space. There's a relationship between space and matter that creates the mirror of life that we see and we come to comprehend and learn about. So our skin, some of us have normal structured skin and some of us have connective tissue disorder where we have looser skin with more space. And that space in between that skin, in between those cells and our membranes of how our skin structure is made, is connected to how we heal, how we pass messages throughout our body, through our nervous system, how we use the blood to the vascular system helps the blood to travel to different parts of our body to heal, to nourish, to transport nutrients to different parts of our body, to lubricate our eyes and our mouth, to create saliva to help break down our food that also contains memory and messages to help coordinate and send knowledge to different parts of our body. It's coherent, and it's our body's intellectual. It has it's constantly collecting messages from the air and from being around us. And when we take care of our skin through minerals, and we understand that these minerals are so important to our life force, our healing, our being. Why are these minerals so important? Because basic minerals, magnesium, calcium, all the different minerals that we need, that are in the food that we eat, in the water that we drink, if we drink water that's filled with electrolytes and minerals and nutrients, and the food that we eat alongside as we hydrate our body. These minerals are magnetic. There's a life force. There's a memory. These minerals have been on this planet and this earth before time, from the beginning. And they carry the knowledge. The knowledge, but there's a relationship between the minerals, the life force, the soil, what we know in astrology, the elements, and we know in spirituality. There's a relationship between the soil, the minerals, the air, and the water and the fire. There is an energy. So these minerals that we consume are the ions. They give us the ions within our body, the energy source, that the magnetism. The more minerals that we consume through healing, the higher our vibration is going to be. But the minerals need the light. There's a relationship between the ions and the photons, the light. And the light is how we reflect. The light is how our being, our energy force is comprehended, is what we contain within us. The light is the knowledge. The light is all around us in the air, and the light shows us what we see, what we come to understand, how we connect with each other. As it reflects from us, and it reflects from the objects, and it reflects within the sky that gives us the illusion of the colours that we see. It's how we come to comprehend and understand life through these reflections of reality that we then come to understand through our level of own consciousness within ourselves and the names that we give in linguistics to different objects of what we see. But truthfully, everything is connected to one, because the ions and the photons, they are made from atoms. And in ancient scriptures, when we go back to the Hermetica, some people say the Hermetica has not been proven, but this ancient scriptures going back to the Egyptians, where a lot of our knowledge, if you understand astrology and you understand numerology, and when a soul comes here, if you tie that together with your whole family of who you know, it becomes undeniably the truth, because the answer is all there. So in the Hermetica it says, Atum, yeah? Atum is God, the one. Why does it say that? Call me Atum, the God, the one, the Atum. Because the photons, we give them the name of the photons, but really they're derived from the atoms. It's just a different form as they come together, that we and scientists have given it the name of photons, but it's all derived from the same source, from the same one atom, the God, energy, the light. And the ions, why are they attracted and magnetize and dance within one another and work together within our own cells and body and need one another? Why is the relationship between them? Why is there this ultimate connectivity with all of us? Why do we ultimately desire that connectivity with one another, to be loved, the female, the male? Why in all ancient scriptures does it tell us about the one energy, the God, where we are derived from? All of the stories that we hear back in ancient scriptures, and we know the life force comes from the one. Because everything, whether it be a table or any kind of matter, whether it be the ocean, whether it be our body, our membranes, our own cells, is all derived from the atom, the one God, the one life force. And so the photons, the light, and naturally the ions are going to have a relationship where they're also attracted to one another, because that magnetic force is derived from the same source. Naturally, that's what we're all derived from. But that connectivity, that relationship, that dance between the two, from that attraction, as we think about electric, positive and negative, that spark comes when they both connect with one another. So when we consume the minerals in a high quality diet, an organic diet where we're consuming a good quality amount of minerals, and there's a relationship between the foods that we consume with different foods in order to absorb their minerals and how we absorb them and take care of ourselves, we increase the light force, because the photons need the ions in order to be held within our skin, in our membranes and in our cells. And the photons, the light force, the atom, it's been here from the beginning of time. It's what we're all made from. That's why the knowledge is held, the ultimate knowledge of everything, the connectivity, the intuition. We talk about being psychic. Well, we can all reach that higher level and state of consciousness if we actively are disciplined of what we consume to take care of ourselves. Because the knowledge has been here. The knowledge is within the atom, within the light, within everything. So in order to obtain that energy within our own life force and to share it between one another, we have to consume the minerals, the clean water, the life force. But what we're consuming is not just material. What we're consuming is within our mind and our heart and our soul and our chakras, how we treat one another, how we think about one another, the vibration we give off, the cleaning, the clearing, the loving, the forgiving. It's all part of the journey of the soul. And it takes many lifetimes in astrology. And we tie it in with numerology that can tell us about previous lifetimes. And we can see the pattern within the chart that can tell us more about, people might not believe this or might think I'm a bit insane, but unless you've actually studied it and seen it in real life and synchronicity, how it's all fate, right? Fate. They also many things from our day of birth, the planets and the positions that were written before our birth, before our soul came here. And they're there for a reason. That journey is there for a reason. So as we consume more minerals and we focus on gaining the life force and the light within our soul, our body, our being, and the cells that hold it within our skin, within our spine, where there's also memory from our ancestors and our DNA are held. And there's a relationship also between our spine, and when we look at Sajda Yoga and Asian scriptures, between our spine and the photons and the light, and how they carry the knowledge within us, because we are carrying that life force and that light. When we consume clean foods, live a clean life, enlighten and awaken ourselves and meditate, we carry this memory. It's all around us. It's everywhere. It's in the air, in the light, in the photons. The memory's there. And that's when we start to practice and awaken ourselves through mindfulness and gain the knowledge that we need. And within ourselves is the true us. This is not the true us, who we are, our own consciousness, the deeper us. I say to my children, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the Trinity you are now? Or do you want to be the Trinity that you contain deep within inside your soul? The Trinity that you were born with that's waiting to come out? The Trinity that you are due to transform to into this life? Do you want to be your higher self? Do you want to be your better self? Or are you happy with the self you are now? Because that self is inside you and that self is growing. It's in you. You just have to be conscious and use the voice of that self, the self that's inside your soul, that you can awaken from your own practices, what you consume, your own choices, your own mindfulness, your own meditation. There's two people born in us when we come here in one lifetime, right? There's two, not just one. And we have a choice. We have a choice which one of those realities we want to develop into, who we want to become. But we have to awaken that self through the chakras, through the practices, through what we consume, through the light, the knowledge, and the life force within us. We have to awaken that self in that journey through understanding, reflecting, looking at the ego, looking at how we can transform and help others and how we can be a better person every single day, every single moment, and appreciating every single aspect of that journey. So understanding that the light that we hold within us contains a memory. The photons are the mirror. They are the memory. But because they are the light, they are the mirror, and they are the memory that holds all the knowledge from before time, that we have the power to access through awakening our own self and knowledge. We have to understand that we are the infinite. We are the answer. We were never the problem. We were always the answer. Within us is the key to peace, is the key to love, is the key to hope, is the key to a better life through our own intellect and our own knowledge that we contain within our soul and light. And it's not untouchable. It's all around us. And we can endlessly absorb it through our own conscious actions and discipline and willingness and meaningfulness, through enlightening who we truly are deep within ourselves. It's always been there. We were born with it. So the choices we make of our consumption are ultimately the key to healing through our skin. Because when we make these choices and we absorb these minerals, we then attract the light, and we are able to hold and sustain it, the memory, the life force, that is never-ending practice. And through touch, through consciousness, we share that light and life force. And even when we speak, the life force is around us. We mirror it to one another. We reflect it. We give it. We share it. We grow it. We nurture it. And we help others to sustain it through our actions. In the Hermetica, it talks about the metacosmos, and it describes it being in our own minds, our own reality, and that we manufacture it and we create the metacosmos. Basically, everything that's in our external environment that we see, we also contain individually in here, and we're constantly creating our own reality through the power of consciousness and that spiritual magnetism and life force that some of us have not yet come to see or comprehend. As we start to work on ourselves and we increase that light and life force through discipline, through kind actions, through what we consume, through the minerals and the nutrients, and the giving and the sharing, because it's a connection. The consciousness and the vibration increases. It's contagious. This is why many spiritual practices say it only takes a small percentage. Some people's skin are different. Some people's skin have more space. And in that space they can contain more light and minerals. And that space where it is the answer is also become the separation. Because we are taught in this reality that space that we've created and manufactured is basically the building blocks of what our reality is, really. It's what creates time. So in some ways it is essential. That space is how we come to comprehend and we understand the reality that we see. Because this illusion of me is in my space. I've come to comprehend my own consciousness, sees my own reality, sees me in this space of separation. And I've created this space of separation by identifying myself with my own name as Stacey, and identifying myself with objects, materials in my consciousness, and the recognition of what I do, giving myself titles of being that have given me this identity that has also created a separation from the collective. Because the moment that we identify as an individual is the moment that is the ego, is that we separate from the collective consciousness. So then there's a question of the building blocks of this reality and how we've created this reality on sustaining an identity. This is who I am. That is my husband. They are my children. That is my home. Creating this material identity is what sustains this life force. But once you strip that away and understand that really that identity, that space that you've created is what's become the separation between you connecting with everything, that's when you realize that that is not your power. Your identity and your individuality is not what your power is. Your power is what is within you, what people don't see, and what you don't see about you. Your power is not derived from what you look like, what your titles are, or where you came from. I mean, that just sounds obvious. But your power is derived from when you let go of that. from when you don't care about any of those things. Your power is the ability to just jump and say, I'm going to love all no matter what. I'm going to forgive and give to all. I'm going to save. I'm going to care. I'm going to connect. Because once you let go of that identity, the suffering of everyone else and everything around you becomes your suffering. You become ultimately connected to all. And when you're connected to all, you're unstoppable because you realize you are the atom. The walking God energy atom is in you and in everything. So, how is individuality powerful? When it's disconnecting you from the true source of where you came from and the ability to be able to connect to the true source and endless. Because all of our pain and suffering comes from this identity that we have created, that we create within our own minds, that we should be using to be manifesting the most beautiful reality. So when we start to comprehend this, that the identity and the space is what separates us from our higher self, we can truly grow